beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera. I hope you guys have woken up well and you are really hyped for the day today. My morning is fine. I'm really enjoying it. And guys, there's now rain. I'm happy because now we'll be having harvested. Sijui nyinyi mnafeel aje kuhusu hii maneno, but you guys remember you can always interact with us. Tell us how your morning is through our social media platform, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. So, as it is the norm here at the Younib Breakfast Show, let's go straight to the morning bite of the day. So today you've seen in the morning bite, it's only positive vibes because today we'll be answering the other section of your questions. As I said last time, we'll be having a part 2 of the Q&A session, and definitely I'm joined by my psychologist over here, or our psychologist here at the Younib organization. Remember, this show is probably brought to you by Miss Ashen and Younib organization, and we're trying to reach to the community and teach you guys about your mental health. So I'm going to introduce to you guys the members of our panel who are also our psychologists. So we'll start with Beula and Njagi. We also have Valentine, Ndiwa, and we have Mutembei, Muthami. And they will be here helping us answer your questions that you guys have been sending in. So thank you to our director for helping us prepare these questions so that you can be able to answer them easily here. So let's just start. I'll just pick the first one. And remember, I call people at random, so they're the ones who will be answering our questions, and I just say. So sijasema sijaambia mtu, and nobody has read these questions by the way. So first question of the day. I feel isolated and disconnected from others, especially during the pandemic. How can I build and maintain meaningful connection while prioritizing my mental health?
So it's very normal to feel very isolated, especially when there is crisis around you. That is because sometimes you feel like you don't have a support system, or maybe things are moving too fast and too soon that you don't know nitashikilia nini, nitashikilia wapi. And then if other people are also busy with their own problems, like as they have said with the pandemic, a lot of people were busy trying to stay healthy, making sure that their lifestyle is in check. So there's because everybody has panicked. Now you're also panicked. You don't know who to talk to because everybody is helter-skelter. So it's very easy for you to feel isolated, feel like you're not part of a group or a community. But I want to commend our person over here because they are aware of their emotions. This means that they know that there's a problem, and that is the first step towards changing it. And I'm also happy that they know that they would want to fix or maintain social relationships that are in turn going to make them feel like they're not isolated. So when it comes to maintaining or maybe let's say maintaining or making social connections, the best thing would be to look at your lifestyle. This means what kind of person would I want to be? What kind of relationships would I want to be? Then ask yourself, why am I not there yet? Is it because I need to change my circles? Is it because I need to put myself out there more? What is it that I can do for me to get the ideal kind of social setting that I would want to? Another one is to also analyze your value system. Am I feeling isolated because certain people also don't share my views? Am I feeling isolated because I don't agree with other people's views? They don't agree with mine. Do I need to evaluate? And then from there on, I'm pretty sure there's going to be steps that we can do or take so that we can curb these feelings of isolation.
Awesome. I hope you guys you've gotten to understand now. If you find yourself in such a scenario, or if you're the viewer who was asking, now you can be able to better help yourself. And remember, if you need any help, our psychologists are here to give you guidance, therapy, and you can always call them through the number 0700 352 250, and they will be able to help you through. So now, our next question. I find it challenging to maintain motivation for daily tasks. How can I overcome this lack of motivation, especially when dealing with mental health issues? Beula?
Right. So again, I'd like to start by normalizing that it's a very human experience to wake up and feel like you don't feel like anything. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do any part of my responsibility. Yeah, so there's a part of that that's normal based on just the human experience. Given that we always say, our states can be up and can be down, and even when you're talking about maintaining good mental health, it doesn't mean that you're constantly up. It just means that you know how to manage yourself when you're up and how to manage yourself when you're down. Yeah, but it gets worrying if this has been going on for a prolonged period of time, say more than 2 weeks, and it's accompanied by other symptoms like feelings of sadness that's not lifting, loss of interest in. So they've talked about lack of motivation, but there's also loss of interest in things that you enjoy. So perhaps the motivation might be related to a thing that stresses you. Like, is it just can you categorize it as just a school thing or a work thing, or is it cutting across everything? In that, if you used to enjoy something else, say cooking, that even that you do not have interest for. Are there other changes in your mood pattern, in your eating pattern, in your sleeping patterns? So if the answers to that are yes, then we might be dealing with something that's more than just, stress or just the being in a low period, especially if it's been going on for 2 or more weeks. And so if that's the case, then I'd really request them to reach out on the number you just shared, or actually come to the Younib Studios offices. We'll be there and we'd be able to offer more help. But if it's something that's just, been happening for a few days or maybe just that day, then it would be nice to evaluate, is this thing that you're demotivated about, is it stressing you too much? Do you have too much on your plate that you need to kind of empty your plate kidogo? Are you taking time to do self-care, to do things that you enjoy, so that that joy that comes from that can kind of feed into this thing that you're struggling to do? Yeah.
Okay, so what I've gotten to understand from the first two questions is that you really need to do some self-evaluation so that you can know whether this has gone for a long while or what I can be able to do now to make this improve. And I'm sure that if we keep on looking at ourselves, like being aware of what is happening on our own side, we can be able to now understand when we have problems and when we need to seek the answers to our problems, right? So remember, this is the Younib Breakfast Show, and we are here to help you guys in matters mental health. So I want us to take this short break, and we'll be back with more. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show, and we are here answering your questions. Remember, if you need to send your questions, you can do that through our social media platforms. Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. Let's keep interacting. So back to the questions of the day. The next question: how do you cope or deal with the mental breakdown that comes after losing a close person who committed suicide? Living with guilt because at some point I could prevent the passing of the passing on of this bipolar patient.
Okay, thank you so much to our viewer for the question. Coping, because you have that aspect of guilt within you. You're feeling like you could have prevented that death from occurring. I feel like you're beating yourself too much. There are some things that usually happen in our lives that we don't have control over, and this means that you need a lot of help and support. If you can get the support from your family members, your friends, and even the people who are living around you, that would be of really help to you. And I would also encourage this viewer, because it's something that it's more like it's a traumatizing experience for the viewer, because you've seen this is a person you've been with, and then the person is dead, and you're at this point whereby you're feeling like I should have done something. So probably you did what you had to do, but just like I said, this person, you are not always in control. So first is to accept the fact that you're not in control of the behaviors of other people. So this can give you that comfort of, yeah, maybe what I did, it was beyond my control. Maybe there is nothing I would have done to help this person. So stop beating yourself too much, and to get rid of those aspects of the guilt that you are feeling. That's why we are here. Look for somebody whom you trust. It could be your friend. Go talk to your friend about the feelings that you're feeling, and then this friend might be able to help you with some ideas of how you can cope with the feelings of guilt. So I feel like the viewer is really putting him or herself down because of the death that had occurred to his friend or her friend. Yeah, so stop beating yourself too much. It's okay to feel the guilt that you're feeling. It's normal, but you can also get out of that guilt. Forgive yourself, because this person is gone and there is nothing that you can do to bring this person. So if you keep on living on the fact that there is something you could have done and this thing ends up tormenting you each and every day, accept what had happened. The first thing would be to accept that, yeah, it has happened. And what is this thing that you feel like you could have done to stop this person committing suicide? Was it a case whereby you were present when this person was committing suicide, or you just found this person is dead? You know, if you were there and you could have done something to prevent this person from committing suicide, then that is a different story. But if you are not present and you got to hear that, yeah, my friend committed suicide, so you don't know why that friend committed suicide. You don't know if it was bipolar or if it was other things that led this person to commit suicide. So stop beating yourself too much. You can talk to your friends who you feel comfortable sharing this experience. And the other thing is, you need to forgive yourself, and you need to keep on telling yourself positive things. Yeah, accept that your friend is gone and you're not responsible for that. Yeah.
So acceptance, don't beat yourself, and ensure that you talk to somebody you trust, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the next question: I struggle with intrusive thoughts and rumination. What are some ways to challenge and manage these persistent negative thoughts?
All right. So there's a school of psychology called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and I think that has done the most work in just helping us understand the relationship between our thoughts, our feelings, and thus our behavior. So I would recommend, because this is just, the quick fire answering. I wish we could get to sit with this person, but I would really recommend coming up with what we call under that, a technique under, the CBT, that's called a thought journal, whereby we want to look at what was the trigger event when this thought came up. Is it that, you were at work, you made a mistake, someone shouted at you? What was happening? What was that event that triggered that thought? And then what was that thought? Yeah. What was the feeling that came from having that thought? And then what did that feeling lead you to do? Did you withdraw from people? Did you try and overcompensate for what you think you've done? What was the resulting behavior? So we have just the outline of what usually happens. When an event like this happens, I tend to think I am a failure. I tend to think I'm not good enough. I tend to think, and then it makes me feel sad. It makes me feel anxious. It makes me feel whatever it is. And then when I feel that, I tend to withdraw, or I tend to please people, or I tend to go out and look for a drink to calm myself down. So we're just mapping out what happens. Then once we've done that, what we want to do is to start confronting those thoughts and asking ourselves, are they true? What's the evidence for this thought, And so it's a process of really learning to talk to yourself. Yeah. So from this point, we want to ask, okay, so what's another way I could have thought about it when this event happened? If I was at work and I did something and, for example, Pesh shouted at me and that's why I felt like I am not enough. What's another way I could think about this? Could it be that Pesh was having a difficult morning and what I did triggered her? So her saying whatever she said had actually nothing to do with me. And if that's the case, so what's the feeling I get? I get to remind myself that I am enough. I get to feel maybe a little bit anxious, but I get to still feel capable. And what's the behavior that will come out of that? I will not go into the self-destructive patterns that I am used to when I would think that I am the problem. Yeah, so we need to map out what exactly happens and then start challenging ourselves. What's an alternative thought to that? Yeah.
Okay, so quite good advice that you guys are getting from our own psychologist here. And I'm telling you, if you can hear the information they're giving you, definitely when you come here, they will help you even more to be able to face your problems easily. Sindio, remember you can always reach out to them through the number 0700 352 250, and they will be able to help you out with any problems when it comes to your mental health. So for now, let's take this short break and we'll be back with more. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show, the daily dose of motivation, inspiration, and entertainment. Younib TV every single morning. Sindio. So we are answering your questions today, and we are ensuring that we get to understand or even to have you guys to answer your questions. No, msione ni kama we don't really get your comments, and also we don't really listen to you guys. We are here to answer your questions in a way that can be able to help you, because we saw that these questions that you guys have been sending can easily be a problem for one person, but can also speak to many people. It can be something that people out here are going through. So that is why we did this show, to be able to answer your questions. Sawa. So going to the next question. I often experience negative self-talk and low self-esteem. What are some strategies for building self-confidence and cultivating a more positive self-image?
Okay, when this viewer is saying that they experience negative self-talk, we'd like to first figure out, where is this coming from? Is it because of a past experience that has happened? Is it something to do with trauma? Is it something that was projected onto them as a young person? Is it something also that has come up later on in life? So what I'm trying to ask is, what are the factors surrounding this negative self-talk? Because in the event that it's coming from society or from within their environment, that means the best way to deal with that is to first of all get yourself out of that situation. And this could be, let's say you're living in a house where your parents are abusive, your siblings are abusive, so all that negativity within the house makes you question if you're a good person. It makes you question your value system, and especially if you're the victim. Because you see, if there's abuse in the house, if there's emotional manipulation in the house, it's going to hurt you, and then it's going to reflect on your own self. That means you'll either get to withdraw, you'll either get to question, am I a good person? What am I doing wrong? Why is it always me? And then in the event that you're indexing yourself against other people, because it's very normal. We all compare ourselves to other people. But now if your standards are too high, you'll find that, oh, I feel like I'm not enough because I'm not like Pesh. I can't comfortably host a show like Pesh. So you find that you're feeling like you're not enough, and then the negative self-talk comes in. So first things first, in order to combat that, I'd say is to look at the triggers. Where is this coming from? Could it be that could it be that my surroundings is what is causing this? Is it an event? Is it really anything a trigger? Because a trigger could be anything. Could even be a color. Yeah. So once we know about the triggers, then now we can try to see if we can either move away from the triggers or build resilience to deal with the triggers. This could come off in the this could be anything like, okay, I come from an abusive home, so whenever there's shouting over there, instead of me shouting also, how about I take myself out of the situation for a while, let things simmer down, and then come and address the issue at hand. Because you'll find that once you've reevaluated about the situation or the trigger, you will be better way to attend to it rather than react to it. Another thing is to also, as we always emphasize here, is to always reassure yourself that you're enough. This means looking at yourself in the mirror, telling them, hey, you're enough today, you're looking good. It could be also like taking photos of you to see how you look in different colors, different outfits, and telling yourself that you're looking good. Because if you can convince yourself, a mass. If you can get enough confidence to talk to hype yourself up, then I'm pretty sure nothing can shake you in this world.
Now you guys have seen the importance of why I tell you guys it's important to always have the morning affirmations. You see, early in the morning, if you just talk to yourself, it will make your day positive. It just works magically. So when you wake up in the morning and start talking about yourself positively, it just makes your day better. And nobody can always tell you something different, because you already know from your heart, from yourself, that I am good, I am worth it, I am going to have a beautiful day. Nobody will come against that. Sindio? So that's the importance of having the morning affirmation. Sawa? Yes, next question. I often feel overwhelmed by my emotions. What are some strategies I can use to regulate? What are some strategies I can use to regulate my emotions better?
Okay, it's a very good question on emotions. And remember, the stage that most of us youths are in is that stage where sometimes we are overwhelmed by some bit of sadness, some point we are happy. And in this case, I'm getting that our viewer out there is being overwhelmed by emotions. So I don't know whether it's positive or it's negative emotions, because both can be overwhelming. So if in case it's negative emotion, let me give an example of sadness. So you find that most of the time you're feeling you're sad. Like Beula had actually taught, she said the first question as she was answering, like take note of this sadness. How long am I feeling sad? So that in that sadness, because some conditions, condition like depression, you see, sadness is a symptom that we psychologists usually look at. But now, if you're not feeling like sad for a period of maybe 2 weeks, it's just that sometimes you're sad, sometimes you're happy, sometimes you don't even get to understand yourself, your emotions are all over. Look at yourself. What kind of a person are you? You know, we are living in the social media age whereby most of us are spending our times on our screens. And sometimes these days we can say that normal has become, it has become very boring to, let me not say all, but to majority of the people. A lot of us are not getting that time to interact with nature and even interact with other people. So when you're feeling sad or you're being overwhelmed by emotions, where are you? Are you this person who is only connected to yourself? You know, if you stay with yourself in some place, maybe in some room, sometimes you might feel bored, sometimes you might feel lonely. But if this viewer gets to connect with other people, for example, if they are going to chat and they are meeting with the fellow youths, they are getting to engage in they're getting to engage in activities that give them psych, they psych them up. They'll be able to maybe deal with sadness and the feelings of loneliness or the feeling of being depressed. So I'll say you stay active, and in this sense, I mean that you be active with other people. Maybe it can be your youth people, even yourself. Get to exercise. Exercise has been proven scientifically to be the most effective way of handling so many things. So you find that when you exercise, your body gets to release a very happy hormone. It's called endorphin. So you end up feeling good. So if you're this kind of a person who is being overwhelmed by your emotions, exercise. If you exercise, ensure that you are eating very well, your sleep is also very well, because emotions usually come. Let me give an example of anger. If you don't sleep, if you don't get enough sleep, you tend to feel tired, you also tend to feel angry. So maybe you can go at work and somebody just does something and you're finding that you're acting out. This is because you've not given your body enough rest. So you need to rest, you need to eat well, and you also need to connect with other people and the nature itself.
So you need to just ensure that you have a balance in
Yes.
everything. Like ensure that you are out with friends, being social. Don't forget also you are a social being. As human beings, we are told we are always social beings. So it's important for us to also remember that aspect. Just go out, speak to somebody. That is why you need friends, you know. And friends are there. You don't have actually to even go out. You can even speak with them through the phone, right? And it will be the social aspect. But it's also important for you to always go take a walk. Tumeshika tukiambiwa it's part of self-care, you know. B had was a guest there and she told us that we're supposed to be going out, we're supposed to be doing some little exercise, if even incorporating some of these things when you're going to work. Like if, for example, you're used to a motorbike from a specific distance to a specific distance, you can decide and walk. And you see that will help you also connect with yourself, and it will help you ease in your feelings and your emotions. So it's important for us to understand that all of this, they are somehow interconnected, and all this, if you take the advice that we have been giving you on our shows here, when we're talking about the different discussions, they're the same things. Just try and incorporate. And if you feel you're excessively overwhelmed, our psychologists are here to help you out. Their number is 0700-352-250, and I'm sure they will be able to help you with your mental health because they are here for you guys. That is why they are here, right? So thank you so much for everyone who has made this show a success. Thank you, Daisy, for being behind our camera today. We've been having a lady behind the camera today. And to our director, Elias Muchina, thank you so much for making this show always a success. Hii show inakujanga hapa juu director anakuanga ametupush yake yote, si ndio? So thank you so much for always being there to keep us on toes when it comes to the Younib Breakfast show. To you guys, thank you so much for coming, for helping us answer our questions, because it's through your knowledge that we get also to inform our viewers. So asanteni sana. And to our viewers, thank you for your questions, because honestly, I'm sure if I ask every psychologist, like if I ask Mutembei, B, they will be saying these are very, very good questions, right? And it seems it also shows us that we are really reaching out to you guys, and we are really helping you guys so that you can be able to become better. And we are really, really happy. So remember that you can always share this to your friends. If you feel like kuna kitu tumeongelelea na ina affect one of your family members, ina affect one of your friends, just share it. Kuna link. You can also tell them of Younib TV, which is the best TV station in East and Central Africa. Sindio, you can always tell them that through this they can be able to learn and become better people. So until next time, this has been your show, the Younib Breakfast Show, and we see each other same time, same place. Goodbye.
Bye.